Okay, so we're going to look at strangling someone with pressure. Okay, so first of all, we'll look at the idea, and then we'll look at the setup. So if Omid goes on the bottom, so if we look at just pressure from side control, okay, what we're actually doing with our shoulder, and then we'll talk about, that's definitely the long way round. By the way, this is called the redneck. Okay, I didn't name it. I don't really know why it's called the redneck.
It makes your neck really red.
Yeah, it makes your neck red. So without going into too much detail about open and closed side control, okay, I'm just going to focus on how you apply the pressure more efficiently. Okay, so we're looking to be as deep as we can with this arm for now. Okay, so create good strong connection with your biceps. I'm sliding my arm through as deep as I can. I'm gathering the far side arm and I'm anchoring on to the armpit, okay, or as deep as I can, okay, but that anchor point is really important. Now the trick is to relax your shoulder down your partner's torso, okay, so imagine you're trying to melt your shoulder down towards their nipples, and now you have the ability to disperse weight forward, okay, and it'll always come underneath the chin, okay, that way you're going to create more connection. Okay, a lot of the time, if you just try to target the head, you'll miss the neck. Okay, and the neck is the danger zone. Okay, especially if they don't want it to happen. So they're tucking their chin in, you're trying, look, you end up just crushing their cheekbone. Okay, whereas even if they're tucking their chin down, and I relax, I'm melting my shoulder down towards the nipples, I can still create strong pressure. Okay, it still finds the sweet spot. However, when there's a realistic scenario and I'm applying pressure, it needs stability, okay? It needs a surface that I can apply the pressure directly onto. Omid's not going to allow me to do that, okay? So when I try to create that pressure in a specific position or specific point, then what Omid's going to do is make adjustments to try and deflect that pressure. So what you'll see is a very common thing that happens is if someone tries to stack the weight and create pressure, they turn with the motion, okay, and that way it releases the pressure, okay, or allows the pressure to deflect, okay. So the idea behind the redneck strangle, okay, it can be set up from side control or it can be set up from mount, okay. And again, I'm not going to go into loads of details on the setups. It's more about the approach to this strangle and making it efficient. The idea is to pin the legs so that we can totally control the hips and we can stop that movement. Okay. In fact, it's more so that if we can pin the legs in a certain way, we can increase the pressure. Okay. So what I'm aiming for is a position where I can pin the legs down and peel the hip up. So now if you imagine the hips are getting peeled up in this direction and I'm applying pressure in a counter direction, it's very difficult for Omid to stop the strangle from coming on. Okay, so we'll just go straight to the end. Okay, I'm going to use my leg as a weave. Okay, so my foot has gathered up the thigh of the bottom leg, and my leg as a whole is going to pin the top leg. So if Omid tries to turn his hips back flat, they're stuck. Okay, which means I've created an elevated platform for the hips. And now if we connect to a strong pressure on the head, it's very hard for Omid to avoid. Okay, so the last detail that I'm going to add is once you've peeled up the hips, naturally what will happen is the shoulder will start to roll up slightly. So in this scenario, what I'm looking to do is clinch my hands together and I'm looking to suck them into the center of the spine. Okay, so now when I roll my weight forward, I've created an object that's going to arch the spine or the upper back. Okay, with an arch in the upper back, it's very, very difficult for someone to protect their neck. Okay, so the idea is I create this big ball in the center of the back, and then I'm going to start to roll the weight over that ball, which is going to keep a nice deep arch in the back, and it's going to keep the neck exposed. So we're here. Again, same thing, I'm melting my shoulder down towards the nipples, and then applying pressure. Okay, so I'm just dispersing some weight over the top of Omid whilst keeping the hips elevated. Okay, so what we'll do is just look at 2 different ways of setting this up. So it's very common, okay, from mount, if they try to grab my leg. Okay, so that leg, the other leg, the other one. So if they try and grab this leg, all I'm going to do is keep the sole of my foot connected to the thigh, and then I just relax my hips back, set up the weave, and now we're in a position. We'll create our connection in the center of the spine, and we've got the red neck. Okay, from side control, I can start to set up pressure. Okay, so whether I just set up a pit hook first, and then I'm going to start turning the angle with my hips, and I can collapse the legs towards me. Same thing. Okay, I just create that weave, and then we come back, find the center of the spine, and apply the pressure. People don't like this one.